here today with Doug Dermasic, EVP of Commercial Strategy for Unicisive Therapeutics. Welcome to the studio.
Hello, everybody, again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and we got a decent show planned for you today. Please like and subscribe. To the channel. Appreciate all the new followers that have come along to the show within the past week and the last 2 weeks. Thank you for helping us march towards 3,000 subscribers. We really appreciate that and would love to have you guys aboard, share your stock info, as well as share news and information with other new traders who are trying to make a decision of what they should do. Help them. That's what one of the show does, is it tries to help people gain knowledge and actually what they're investing in and what the real traders are saying. One of the first stocks we're going to talk about is Unicisive Therapeutics Incorporated. Unicisive Therapeutics Incorporated. A ticker on this one is UNCY. UNCY. Last tick on this one was $1.24. You started to see some resistance popping up, and then started to trickle out because shorties got out. It was up 153.06% today. Year to date's on the chart. Let's go check it out, and you see the resistance popping up today. Why is this popping? We're going to find out why, because we're going to check out the Alphabet news. Some of the downtrends you have to ignore from 2022 because that is the market correction showing there. And unfortunately, with economic conditions in a piss poor economy, you never know what's going to happen because the numbers are always changing. That's why you see people changing over towards the pharmaceutical stocks and things like that. They're running towards a place of gravitation, and the shorters are also following with you. As we saw with last week, a lot of shorters have come along, and they have moved to some of these news breaks and try to take advantage of them as well. So be careful of that when you see a stock popping and you are worried or concerned if you should get out, get in, do whatever. You have to make your own choices, but you need to do your DD and look out and see what the other traders are saying as well, not just the parrots out there. So going to what would you say they do here in the news? Okay, guys, so going on to Credit Pulse 2.0 article. Unicisive Therapeutics announced today the company has signed securities purchase agreement with certain healthcare-focused institutional investors that will provide $130 million in gross proceeds to Unicisive through a private placement that includes initial upfront funding of $30 million. The funding led by Vivo Capital and participation from RA Capital, BVD Partners, BVF Partners, not BVD or BVDs, but BVF Partners. Logos Capital is supported by existing investors, including Nantahala Capital Partners and Rosalinda Advisors Incorporated. In connection with financing, Gaurav Arvawal, sorry if I need to butcher your name, but Managing Director of Vivo Capital will be joined by Unicisive Board of Directors. We don't want to bury the lead here, but if turning back the clock, Pulse 2.0 turns back the clock right here, and this is in December 2022, Unicisive announced the primary endpoint was met in the company's pivotal bioequivalence study compared to the Renzozorb to Forzenol, and based on the top-line results, pharmacodynamic of Renzozorb to Forenzol was established by the FDA's regulatory criteria. So that's in the healthy volunteer study. Guys, that is huge in itself. So that is something to watch as you're putting this into thinking why you want to touch this or even follow it or anything like that before you make an investment. If you're new to trading, you need to do paper trading and not do jump into something that's going to get you into trouble. So just giving you a little bit of info there. We're going to go into the website, check it out, and see what they got. Onto the website, guys. It looks pretty good. It better look good because it's not a ham sandwich stock. It's not a Mr. Thank you very much stock. It has hit the dollar range. Now, what goes up must go down. We're not going to fall in love with the stock or anything like that. But there is one main thing when you get onto the website. You see one of the first things you want to go with. Let's go to check out About Us, but then we're going to go to the pipes and see what they got in the pipes because that's the most beneficial to you is what they have in the hopper as far as what you're going to do for these studies and see how the progression of the studies go. So in a nutshell, on the website, you have Unicisive is unified. They're a community of collaborators who thrive on connections and camaraderie. Currently, they're focused on developing new treatment options for patients with renal diseases, and kidney diseases remain a major health concern. So they're dealing with those types of diseases. Let's go on to the pipes, check out what they got in the pipeline. Okay, so looking at the company model with the pipeline, you have prospect, unearth, refine, and create value. Well, they're creating value, and it's something to watch is the RenaZorb. For that, you are in phase 3, almost close to NDA. So that's something to watch. In phase 1, they're on their way to phase 2 and phase 3. The RenaZorb, you're seeing that you're starting to see some momentum, and it's picking up, getting closer and closer to the NDA. Now, one of the things, if you're new to trading biopharmaceuticals in, is that some of these, not just others, they have more studies going on, and there's things to watch in the news cycles. So with acute kidney injury, AKI, and chronic kidney disease, you have the preclinicals, and you're in phase 1 for those 2 studies. You have also the RenaZorb there, which is, you also have the phases there. As they go out through the phases, you will ride those news waves, and you're going to see those increases if they're making progress. And there's the gamble that they don't, and you basically are stuck. So that's where you have to determine is what have they been doing, how long have they been in the studies, and how long have they been stuck in these phases, because they do take time. But you're waiting for news waves, but you're also seeing that before you invest, you want to see what direction where things are going and things like that, because you don't want to just dump money into something where they're not progressing. That is something where you're going to have your own personal information. I can see, you can watch shows of previous to see where others have progressed in the past that we've covered. But we started turning towards these stocks probably about 2 years ago when we knew the decline of this was going down. So you can see some of the other stocks that we talked about with these. But as you see the managed decline of the economy, we see this decline, especially when we saw it from our friends from Cortez and Peter Navarro. We decided to start jumping on some of these, so you can see what our takes were in the past of some of these biopharmaceuticals. Because we started to hit on this because we knew the economic indicators that we've seen. And the managed decline is only going to get worse unless somebody bipartisanly comes to, which we don't think anytime soon, people in government bipartisanly agree to spending changes and things like that. But I don't see that anytime soon, or any of the parties coming to an agreement, because they're all, it's just a big, huge mess. Let's just put it that way to be safe on here. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this company, and we're going to go on to StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are at. And we're going to see what the real traders are saying. So going on to StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are at, you can see the momentum where Unicisive is changing where the twits are at. Stock Illuminati has the count at 483 new watchers today on the stock. So you can see that this stock is trending in the right direction, and people are talking about it. But you are going to get some of the real takes of what some of the bulls and bears are saying about this. You can see the people that are really trading about this, that have skin in the game, what they're saying. So S. Matchy says, CEO of UNCY speaking at the summit happening March 7th to March 9th. Tune in, you can see what they're all about too. He is listed as a speaker in the first link below, so you can check that out if you would like to attend. Some of those are fun, but some are very boring here. But you got to know what you're investing in. So this is what BRK, the BNK. If you don't know what that is, then I can't help you there. He says UNCY should be a multi-day runner here, folks. Here's the presentation there. He talks about the summit data on how and why mitochondria play a role in disease progression for both acute and chronic kidney disease, to be highlighted in a presentation titled The Two Sides of. You can click on it and read the rest. Seymour is coming in bearish. He says massive dump expected tomorrow. Possibility, because everybody's talking about it. It's showing as one of the top talked about stocks on StockTwits, so nothing is that far out. I'm thinking that it's going to either come today or tomorrow, but sometime this week for sure. S. Matchy says December 2022, Unicisive announced the primary endpoint that has met the company's pivotal bioequivalence study for RenaZorb to Forenzinol. Based on the top-line results, pharmacodynamic of Forenzinol was established that met the FDA's regular criteria of PDD-BE, the healthy study, which we read from Pulse 2.0. Unidecisive previously received confirmatory guidance for the FDA, the single CE study in healthy volunteers, which we've covered all that already. So guys, what Ask Matchy basically posted is the other article, which we covered, and that's something to watch out for going down the line to see where things are headed, and if you can make a run on next what's coming up. She also says no other clinical studies required for approval. It will be a multi-day run, it looks like. We will see how that plays out. A good piece of information from Vernon Tossi. He says why UNCY is better than the bioequivalents. On dialysis, 75%. 2 pill burden, 19 pills per day. The unmet need of hyperphosphatemia. There you have it on that, and you have the breakdown of the chart there. That is great. The next stock we have is Azul SA, Azul, AZUL. Last tick was $5.85. Today it was up $1.68, $1.68. Going to the year-to-date chart, so it looks like today you're up 40.29%. That is out after hours as well. The past year it hasn't been that great. It hasn't been really great for anybody that much, but you're starting to see resistance popping up. We're going to go to Alphabet News and see why it was doing so well today, and why it was up $1.68 today and ran like hell. Zynga, what happened to Azul today? It successfully reached commercial agreements that now represent 90% of its lease obligations. Brazilian airline company has entered into agreements with lessors to reduce lease payments and eliminate COVID-related deferrals. The agreements of comprehensive plan admitted a strengthening of the company's cash generation and improving in capital structure. In exchange for reduced lease payments, lessors will receive tradable note maturing in 2023 at an equity price to reflect Azul's next new generation cash generation, improved capital structure, and reduced credit risk. Lessors represent 80% of the nominal gross debt. Reaching these agreements demonstrate the tremendous success in the approach. Negotiations will continue. Lessor the stakeholders, OEMs, and are very optimistic about reaching the agreement with all of them. Said Alex Malafatini, Azul's CFO. And with this, for some of us that are not familiar with this, Azul primarily operates passenger cargo flights to more than 100 destinations in Brazil. The company generates revenue primarily through aircraft as well as other sources, such as cargo operations, interest on installment sales, luggage, fares, and express luggage, and penalties for ticket cancellation. The website, it looks pretty good. It better look good because it's not sub-penny, some type of trash stock. This is a decent stock. If you've seen on some of the boards there, this is one of the primary airlines there in Brazil. One of the first takes I like to say before landing on the page is this something that is going to take off more just because of you have the cargo aspect down here. That's one of the things you need to look at. You can book your tourism entertainment. You have the flights, where they go, pretty much out the air section. There are several airports they fly to around the world, over more than 150 destinations. Yes, they do fly into the United States. Yes, they fly pretty much to a lot of places, but the shipping and orders is the other program that you could think of. Destinations you can fly to as well. Orlando, Paris, endless, and the vacations are endless. You just have to come up with the Dollaruskis to do what you have to do and that you want to fly on to make your dreams happy and possible. Go right to Orlando and fly to Disneyland. Patriot 3722 comes in hot, and he's bringing receipts here and stuff. Some of this information you have to dig pretty hard for in the first 2 pages of your Google machine. But Patriot's bringing it first and foremost because he's trying to help other traders, unlike some traders who like to come on here and just basically troll and not giving any info. Patriot is contributing. Not saying all of you, I'm just saying some of you. Patriot 3722 brings a great take. Says anyone knowledgeable of these things outside the U.S. knows Azul Airlines is a major player in air travel between North and South America. Within Brazil, they dominate domestic air travel. Did you see and not bury the headline here? Within Brazil, They dominate domestic air travel. This is your stock, and buy and hold long term. Also, what's with the new leadership there? How does it hold up with the regime? That's something interesting. If they're buddies with the regime and things like that, the new regime, they could, this they could give that a boost there as well. And maybe that's some of the movement there. I don't know. So you see that he doesn't buy the lead. What people have here: 900 daily departures to 160 destinations, created an unparalleled network of 320 nonstop routes as of December 2021. Brings in a great take. Says very happy for those who got a nice win today, but the new people on ST, I'll still wager most have never heard of this ticker before. Absolutely, a lot of people haven't. So there's 5,000 watchers here. I would not be surprised if you see more watchers, just because some of these people, exactly what he says, will be holding their bags, and those that pump for buying it left them behind. Maybe wrong, it doesn't crash down before, but usually not. These trends go up when the stock rockets to 40,000, 40, 50 to 60 plus in a day. Yeah, guys, make sure you're watching your accounts all the time, because you never know when you're going to have the lucky ticket for the day there. A lot of people don't pay attention, and then you could open it up and you were out there. One of your other jumps today, you saw a little bit there, was Rumble. You saw another spike in that one. That one keeps on playing around and is starting to pattern a little bit every month. So, watch your stuff, do your DD, and there will be some bag holders, but hopefully they don't get caught, and maybe there's not too many. It's just newbies. Just do paper trading. Do not jump into something you don't know what you're investing in, or if you do not what you're doing, try to take a course in trading. For investors looking at Azul, negotiating with smaller players to reduce lease payments, stave off bankruptcy as a long-term play. I think you have some nice dollars, but realize the gain is better than riding the hopium generated by people who don't care about your portfolio. Also remember, best to believe the bears are going to try to short this back down. What else does Fresh Perspective have on there? Interesting from that one Folio and Market Chameleon Twins. Sentiment alert: Azul increasing bearish pressure with an imbalance of net option delta of negative 56.2K. So there you have the chart there. When you're checking out to to invest or look at this one, remember to take that into account. It is something to watch. Lada brings in a good take. So this isn't a play; it's an investment. It's funny to watch trolls to spend a 40% day bearish. They wasn't pumped up in it, and this isn't a meme stock. I'll be damned if I'm going to let my shares go for $7 a piece. So this one, with it, guys, you gained $1.72 today. Obviously, shorties get out, but I don't think we've seen, as long as revenue's coming in and things like that, I don't think we've seen the last of Azul. It's as long as the sales numbers keep on going where they're going. I see this thing. I don't think this is the last we're going to talk about Azul, that's for sure. The next stock we have is Novo Integrated Sciences Incorporated, NVOS. Last tick was $1.17. You're starting to see some resistance popping up. You're starting to see this thing on the move, 34.67% today. Let's check out the Alphabet news and see why we saw the news breaks and things like that. The next stock we have is Ambrx Biopharma Incorporated. Ambrx Biopharma Incorporated. Last tick was $12.54. Ticker on this one is AM. This is nearly doubled its price today. Just within today, 94.72%. One of the most trending stocks on the internet right now as far as movement. Does that mean you go and jump into it or anything like that? Absolutely not. Only the guys that picked up the cheap seats, were able to benefit, and then some joined the roller coaster ride to the top. Hopefully nobody gets caught with the bags on the way down, because what comes up most always come down. At least that's what we've been told. Not every time. Chart, this was hanging in the fives, and you saw this came out like a rocket ship from May of 2022, and you saw a 7.96 gain. If you got in around the 5 mark, you were sitting pretty at 796 there, I'd have to say. So today you saw a rocket ship of news. We're going to see why this just took off like a bullet and find out what happened. investors are reacting to the late end of the week news that several institutional investors have recently modified their holdings of AMAM. By B. Riley Wealth Advisors Incorporated acquired a new position in Ambrx Biopharma in the fourth quarter, valued at $45,000. Royal Bank of Canada acquired a new stake in Ambrx Biopharma in the third quarter, approximately $45,000. Renaissance Technology boosted its stake to Ambrx Biopharma to 481.8% in the third quarter. Renaissance Technology LLC now 64,000 shares of the company's stock and 69,000 after acquiring an additional 53,000 shares during the fourth quarter. What does that mean? That means that just the same as always, you're starting to see biopharmaceutical companies run everywhere like mad wild. Reason being that people are taking their Dollarooskies and moving into a more safer bet and safer hedge because of a crumbling economy and crumbling numbers. You're starting to see businesses with closing their doors. You're starting to see regular chains closing down in certain areas because things are not good with the economy, and the economy is falling flat on its back and continue to take a downward trend. You could be having the happy hopium of the alphabet news telling you things are great, but that's fine. Look yourself in the mirror and tell you, is this the best that's happening? So that is why you're seeing the gravitation towards some of these companies and some of the money with investors moving to safer pastures. Sometimes, not all the time, because some of these are pump up the jams writing the news. So be wary, don't be a bag holder, and be safe, and watch your wallet. Website looks pretty good. You can take a journey on there. It better look good. Just because it's not like a ham sandwich stock or anything like that. It's not a Mr. Thank You Very Much stock. And it's gained some reputability with $7.96 in the hopper gained for the year. So that's something to think about there. Ambrx is on the mission to discover and develop pipelines of engineered precision biologics and treatment for various cancer indications with high unmet medical need. Their pipeline is focused on creating the next generation of antibody drug conjugates and other engineered therapies to modulate the immune system for a variety of cancer indicators, including the lead product candidate for ARX5117, prostate-specific membrane antigen. That's a huge cancer that affects many people worldwide. So if they're doing something with that and things are coming along the pipes, it is huge there. They have established collaborations with multiple pharmaceutical companies. Navigo Codex Biopharmaceuticals, Sino Biopharmaceuticals, and BeGene in addition to indicators of developmental projects. The team is dedicated to professionals with culture and vision that embraces innovation, practicality, and accountability. Of what you wanted to see, what you really care about is what's going on in the pipes. So they have the Ambrx ADC oncology programs. You have your anti-PSMA ADC and your anti-CDC CD70 ADC. That's one is in phase 1 with the 517. The 305 is in preclinicals. You also have your Ambrx immuno-oncology programs. ARDX Smart PGIL2. For these, the specific targets of the 517 is membrane antigen expressed on prostate cancer cells. The PSMA is clinically validated target and important biomarker for the prostate cancer, which is highly overexpressed in metastatic concentration as resistant prostate cancer, as well as solid tumors, such as pancreatic and non-small cell lung cancer. And ovarian prostate cancer represents a significant unmet of medical need, between 1.4 new annual cases worldwide and 9.9 billion treatment in 2020. As potential for the PSMA target, they've initiated a clinical 1 trial of ARX517, anticipate the interim phase 1 data. You also have the 305, which is the preclinical trial, and you have the others. Now, as they break through the phases of the 3, you could ride news waves for each of these, like I was telling you. That could bring you some profits where you can lock in. But make sure if you go to lock in the profits, that when the pump up the jammers get out, and then people are not paying attention and they just don't know what they're doing, and they short to make a small profit, or they short and don't see the long-term picture. The problem is they're not seeing the long-term, which is you could go to phase 2, 3, 4, the 3, and the FDA approval eventually. With that, just don't do anything stupid. If you're new to trading, just don't get into this, and you need to take a course on trading so you don't screw something up. And just always remember the long term and not the short term But always remember to lock in your profits as well. So you have several things to take into account of what they're doing. Prull and some of the other ones that are touting bear out there, I would have to agree, because this is going by the trends of, let's just say, the last few years of someone picking something out and then they just go ham sandwich on it, and then shorties get out. You have this list of things with the tick. He has any gang trying to short this ticker may suffer the biggest loss in shorting history. Brings up a good point here. He says the ticker's got to pop in the news the last week already. I've never seen a stock double and transformed into one exchange. Huge pump and dump. There will be lots of bag holders tomorrow. Yeah, there probably will be, because people always jump on stuff and just jump the gun when they they just see something trending and they're new, and bad things happen. It's unfortunate that these types of things happening. Good question by Darmori1 says, how much cash is in the bank for this company? What is the float? Where are these folks thinking the play is here? I am totally agreeing with the bears on a lot of these takes, guys. It's just, you're going to, unfortunately, hopefully nobody's holding the bag tomorrow, but you're going to see a lot. On some of the other ones and the boards, where does this go in the future? What's the next pump up the jam that we'll see? Because we've been talking about a lot of them frequently. Massive upticks. Eventually, see how everything plays out and see what the next one is tomorrow or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday till the end of the week. That's all the stocks we're covering tonight. Don't make it a dog show. And good night now.